Hello darlings, hello beautiful tribe members, how are you all doing? It is me, Nikki Allen, the bedroom guru. I'm becoming a bit of a guru, I'm not going to lie. So many of you, and I love them. I know I keep saying it, but you know, people from all over the world. This is the beauty of doing these YouTube channels. You get people all over the world sharing their stuff with you. So many of you are in crisis. Now, obviously I do my readings, I do my tarot readings for you, and when I can I do personal readings, but they're email readings because of my energy and my writing commitments. I still haven't got close to getting book 2 out published yet, and I need to really work on that as well because it's really going to help you, that next book, Survival. But it's you know, I've got a friend at the moment as well that's going through this. We go through crisis, and you know, this has been coming, this video, because I've done, you know, the storm will pass and how to get through it and be strong and be a survivor. The thing is, humans, especially spiritual people and empaths and people that are going through mental health issues, always try and put a plaster over a gaping hole that needs to be sorted. Now, nobody likes talking about mental health. Nobody wants to admit that they're depressed or they can't handle it or they can't cope. But do you know what? It needs to be out there, because I think it's over 75% of people have either tried or been on antidepressants. And there's people that are in denial of literally the fact that they're depressed. People think depression is crying. It's nothing to do with that. It's lack of motivation, lack of self-belief, no energy, disturbed sleep, aching joints. There's so many connections to your body that react to mental health issues. So I just want to give you another little tip, another little exercise to do to help alleviate this. You are not going to get anywhere by finding external sources to put over your gaping wounds. So if you're dealing with stress, you're feeling anxious, you have anxiety, you have mental health issues, depression, whatever it is, you need to look at the core of what is creating that and then work your way forward. What we tend to do, and as you know, as you read my book, we always try and plaster over it. We always try and find the next buzz or the next distraction to try and keep us going, get our next serotonin buzz, whether it's with food, alcohol, sex, behaviour, whatever it is. We try and do something to avoid the gaping hole that's saying, I am hurting. This needs to be closed down. So of course I've given you all of this advice before about going to see a counsellor and do spiritual exercise and blah, 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 blah. But do you know what? When you are depressed or when you are going through crisis mentally, you are in a void. You are in a void where you're not present, where you can't conduct anything in your mind with any foundation whatsoever, because you're too busy trying to get through every day. If you're a mum, if you're a dad, if you've got a busy job, you know, you're just trying to drag yourself through the day. You get home, you have a glass of wine, and then you're trying to sleep. Then you're awake at 3 o'clock in the morning because your head's doing this. So yes, it's lovely to get the readings to say everything's going to be okay and keep on going, but you need to grab the source of what's going on and start working it to your advantage. You need to start operating self-love. You need to start putting yourself first. You need to start saying, I'm hurting, I'm wrong, I'm depressed, I get anxious, I'm stressed, I can't stand that bitch, I can't stand him, this is not a great situation, I hate my job, I don't like where I live, I feel fat, I feel thin, I can't eat, I eat too much. Whatever the situation is, it just whirls around, creating these monkeys that are just smashing themselves against the walls of your brain and consciousness, telling you you can't cope, you can't deal with anything more. Because what you're doing is you're swirling around in this whirlpool, this abyss of complete confusion with no foundation. Imagine yourself as a white water river. You are just torrenting down and you're just trying to go with the flow of everything, and you're smashing against rocks and you're trying to get back and you're trying to get around the rocks. And it's just a nightmare. And perhaps something good will happen and that will put you in a good mood for a little while, but you'll always come crashing down again. I've given you all of the guidance, especially in the grief program as well, about, you know, antidepressants, blah, blah, blah. This is not what I want to talk about today. This is starting your own process on your own self-healing to help your mental health condition, whatever you're going through. You don't even have to have mental health. As soon as people hear mental health, they think nutter, bin section, got problems, can't cope. No, it's not about that. Mental health is just the same as keeping your body healthy. Cleaning your teeth keeps your teeth and gums healthy. So keep your mental health healthy. You don't have to be depressed. It's just keeping yourself in check and making sure that you're in control of your thoughts and your processes. One of the biggest things you can't do if you do suffer from depression or you are going through a crisis is you can't grab hold of anything because you've got too many thoughts going on in your mind. So, as you all know, if you're a previous student of mine or you've been watching me for a long time, and this is how I got my book, a soul journal. I have most probably got about 20 soul journals, and I will never ever get rid of them. And no doubt someone will be bored shitless reading them when they clear my little house out after I've snuffed it, right? But do you know what? Without this, I don't know what I would do. I call it compartmentalizing my issues that go on in my head. All right. So, for instance, I've shared with you that the last couple of months have been horrific. I've had no sleep. Mia was ill, and there was all sorts of shit that kept hitting, unnecessary shit. And I'm like, really? And so I started to feel that spiraling of not being able to compartmentalize everything and make an action. Because what you need to do is there's stuff goes. Life doesn't stop for you just because you can't handle it. That carousel keeps spinning round, and even if you can't hang on anymore, nobody's going to stop it. So you're just like trying to grab on, but you can't. Nobody's stopping for you. So you need to hold on to it and say, right, well, I'm here, I'm present, this is happening. The carousel isn't going to stop, so how am I going to go with it? How am I going to cope with it? So one of the things I do, which I implore you to think about and try, is this little puppy. Now, lots of people that are dealing with mental health, I'm going to keep saying it, oh, mental health, nobody likes the word mental health, I'll get over it. Do you know what I mean? You need to start, as I say, putting all of your thoughts, processes, things to do, chores, things that are on your mind in a list. You can't do it in your mind because it's all over the place, okay? This can help for people grieving as well. Whatever you find mentally you can't cope with, this is the way to do it. And this is what any counsellor will tell you to do as well, okay? When you have got stuff in black and white, or blue and white, whatever it is, okay, it's there, it's solid, it's tangible. You can look at it and take it on board. If you think that process, everything else comes battering in, doesn't it? So you can't get that focus right. So the first thing to do is one, things that you have to do perhaps in a week. So say that like you're in crisis or you're depressed or you're anxious and you've got stuff going on, right? And you think, Christ, I've got to take the dog to the vets, I've got to phone the solicitor, I've got to phone the doctors, I've got to make sure that I get my hair booked in because I'm going there. And it's all a massive stress, isn't it? Because you can't cope. People that have got adequate mental health, people that don't have to deal with depression or stress or anxiety, have got everything rosy in their garden, think, that's okay, I can do that Monday, I can do that Tuesday, because their mind is clear and focused. They're on a foundation, they're standing amongst the river, seeing it all flow past, but they've got their nice little sandbank, their concrete bank even, and they're like, yeah, I'm sorted. Yes, what's coming next? Us, the people that have this condition, you're sinking. You try and stand on a bit of sand and it sinks, and again you're thrown down the river because you're overwhelmed by too much. Most people that have got stress, anxiety, depression or any mental health situations going on, and it doesn't even have to be your fault, you know, you could be ill, you could have ME, you could have chronic illness, you could be losing a partner, whatever your crisis is, this turns into overdrive. And so we need a hard drive to back up and formalise everything that's going on. This is your hard drive, right? This is your extra bit of your mind that you're going to now put into lovely little lists and lovely little sections. So the first thing to do is, right, I've got to do these things. So these are the things you've got to do. So you write them out in a list. Okay, write out, right, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, I've got to do this in the week, okay? So that list is the stuff you have to do. Okay, so that's now out of your head of I've got to do it, because you've written it out. It's in black and white. I'm going to do that Thursday. I'm going to phone that number. I'm going to do that Monday. I'm going to do that. Oh, good. So I know what I'm doing. I've got my list in my hard drive and not in my head anymore. You've handed it over. I teach you how to hand over your energy, your thought processes to a higher power. We're now doing handing over to a tangible source, which you can get from W.H. Smith's for like £5, right? A notebook. So they're the mandatory things that you know you have to do to get through the week. Done. Write them out. That's done. I know where I'm going. Then you come back to that and you obviously tick it off as you do it. Then there's a secondary part. This is the part that you want to look at and list of things that are going to do to help you. That are going to help you. I am going to go to the doctor. I'm going to make a phone call. I am going to try a health supplement that's going to help me. I am going to go and get a counsellor. I'm going to research a counsellor. Again, if you've got this all in your head, forget it. It's just going to be tumbling down that white water, then smashing down into a waterfall and carrying on going before you even blink. Okay? Write it down. These are not mandatory, but these will help you get to the source of what is creating your issues, your crisis, and what can help you. So does it matter? No. Again, if you've read my book, it doesn't matter if you don't get any of this list done. This is not the mandatory list. This is not the required carousel whirling around that you have to do to carry on in life's wonderful tapestry of nightmares and challenges. So these are the ones that you're aspiring to do to help you. Okay? Counsellor, health supplements, whatever. Going to start walking for half an hour. Going to get in nature for half an hour. Anything that's going to make you feel better. Okay? That's your list there. Doesn't matter. Tick it off whenever you want. This isn't a race. The next one are things that you're aspiring to for your future. And I do this regularly. I write in this mostly every 3 weeks. I check in with myself and think, what did I do? What didn't I do? What would I like to continue striving for? And so this is what you want to aspire to. This is what you want in your end goal. And inadvertently, by doing this in your soul journey, you're also creating that cosmic ordering. You're also sending out to the universe where you want this to lead to, where you want it to end. I want to be happily mental health. I want to move house. I want to start that job. I want to write that book. I want to be strong enough to deal with unnecessary people in my life. I want to exercise my boundaries. All the things that you want to aspire to. Set your goals. It doesn't matter if you don't make it. The fact is you are starting the first tentative step to your self-recovery. You're starting to gain control in all of these muddy waters. That's what you're aspiring to. Okay? They're the 3 things that I do regularly. Whether I want to or not, I always maintain it because I know that it is so easy to swirl down into a load of shit if you get stuff come at you. Okay? I mentally do it. I basically take myself to the gym every couple of days. I write in this every day, my soul journal. Every day I write in it. But I write things like my meditations, my dreams, my prophecies, things I know that are going to happen, my feelings, right? And this is where the next bit comes in. Most counsellors, if you are saying, I fucking hate him, I hate her, and my dad's dead and I hate it, and I can't stand myself, and I was abused as a child, whatever your trauma, whatever your crisis, they're going to get you to write about it. They're going to get you to write letters to the people that have brought you hurt. Okay? And so I think, oh, I've got it in the bag. Do it already. So this is the next section of your soul journal should be about what is in your head that is renting it. Okay? Whatever is renting your head needs to get out. The arseholes, they're walking around doing whatever they want because they don't give a shit about you. You're renting all their stuff in your head for free. Why? Because when you're in crisis, when you're in trauma, when you can't cope with things, you latch onto the things that are really pissing you off. You don't want to, you can't help it because it's gripping your shit. Or you can't stop thinking about your loss. You can't stop thinking about your arsehole boss. You can't stop thinking about what your brother said to you the other day. You know, whatever it is, you hang on to it because it's some sort of focus for you to feel shit about yourself. It's a sick cycle of events. But what you've got to remember is when you are feeling down, when you're feeling low, when you're in stress, crisis, you just want to make it even worse. You want to make it even worse. I'm going to eat some ice cream. I'm going to break my diet. I'm going to start smoking again. Fuck it. We all do it. But it's natural. It's part of us just wanting to punish ourselves even more because subconsciously we know that we're not dealing with it and we don't know how to do it. So we just get out in anger and think, well, fuck it. If I can't do this and I can't do that, I might as well smash the shit out of it. What's the point? I bet a load of you are nodding at this point, aren't you? You know, self-abuse, let's just make it even worse than it is. So the next part is obviously writing out who is renting your head or what situation is renting your head. You can either write it out just as a diary context, this is happening, that's happening, or actually write letters to the people that are hurting you. It's a bitch. You will end up crying, you might end up ripping through the pages, but you're getting it out. You are addressing what is renting your head. You are exorcising demons. You are evicting the monkeys that are keeping themselves alive in your head, telling you everything is shit and uncontrollable. Get it out between these white lines. Get it out. Write it out. Tell them how you feel. Tell them everything they've done wrong. Tell them what they've created in your life. Get it all out. And the beauty of it is that once you've done all that, and you've written your thoughts and feelings, and you've written how you feel, and you've connected with yourself, you'll end up realising that you write so much more and think, God, I didn't realise I felt like that. Wow, that's impressive. And then you might even start, your inner child might even start telling you what to do to make you feel better. I'm going to add that. I'm going to add that to my how do I make myself feel better. And I'm going to add it to my health supplements doctor Grieving and counselling thing I'm doing. I'm going to add take a walk here. I'm going to add make sure I watch a film. I'm going to add get some essential oils. And you'll start realising without knowing it that you'll operate self-love because your instinct for survival kicks in and you think, I don't need to be like this anymore. I'm going to take steps to do it. It's not going to be a miracle overnight. Some of you it can be. Others it could take a year. It doesn't matter. You're taking steps to gain control over your consciousness, your subconsciousness. You're starting to find your sense of self again. Because at the moment, if you're in crisis or trauma, you're externalising all your feelings on how other people are treating you. Because you've got no sense of self-belief or strength or any boundaries. You're just thinking, well, they're arseholes, so I must be one. Been there, done it. Got the sweatshirt, t-shirt, matching earrings. Just saying. Get it out on the soul journal. It will be the best bit of kit you've ever used and the cheapest bit of kit. You know, people spend thousands on therapists. No, you come and help me. And, you see all these celebrities going to rehab. Oh, I've been to rehab. It's lovely. It's all lip service. It's all doing what you should be doing to please everybody else. That's why we make ourselves look nice, so that we look pleasing to other people. That's why we wear what we do, so that people accept us and go, wow, yeah, she looks cool. We don't do it for ourselves. Half the time we don't do anything for ourselves. About time you did. So you get all these people that email me, and believe me, I totally get it, that want a magic answer through me giving them a reading. The magic answer is in here and here. The magic answer is you digging out that little shit pit that's in there somewhere that is creating all of your crisis and pain. And by getting it out and writing it out and putting it on a hard drive, you will realise you'll alleviate yourself of that, and it won't be in here anymore because you've just exercised the shit out of it. Even if you write 50 pages, great, I've done it before. I've done 50, 60 pages before now. It is a valuable piece of kit. And the most valuable bit is that in 6 months' time, when you look back at what you've written and you think, how do I feel about that? And you think, it's gone. But if you hadn't have put it in this book, if you hadn't have transferred it and handed it over, you'd still be feeling it, guaranteed. So not only is it something that helps you to get everything out and helps you to cope and helps you to just get rid of all the monkeys in your head, it shows you how far you grow. It shows you that when you read back, I sometimes do it myself as just a little self-check. I'll grab any random journal from any year, pull it, and I think, oh my God, my thought process was so wrong. Why wasn't I helping myself then? Why did I think that of myself? And you see how much you grow when you reflect back on the past pages. It's a brilliant, brilliant mechanism to help you get back to contentment, self-love, self-acceptance. And it will help you to start exercising your boundaries to the extent where if you get yourself strong enough, you can say to the people that have rented your head in the past, no more, I'm done. It is a secret. It is an elixir of life, but it doesn't have to be. Working on yourself grabbing out all of that shadow stuff that's sitting there and going, is that it? Is that all it is? That dark pit that I can write about and talk to a counsellor about and walk it out, exercise it out, go to the gym? Is that it? But when you harbour it in here, it festers, it festers, it festers. And your demons and your thought processes and your monkeys make it a monster that really isn't a monster. It's just a tiny little thought that led to emotion, that perhaps led to some actions in the past, but it's still sitting there like a festering cancer. What do you do if you get cancer? We cut it out, don't we? What do you do if we've got a broken bone? We have an operation or we have a cast on it to make better. What do you do if there's something not right up here emotionally? Nothing. Why? This is the most important thing you'll have. Julianus once said it, and it was translated. He said it in, I think it was medieval Italian mixed with a bit of Polish, I think. And he said, the seed of your mind is the core of your being. And it's absolutely right. Everything comes from here. Every thought process creates emotion, behaviour, and how you are as a person in this world, how you stand, your presence, who you are, who you mix with. Everything comes from there. And if you can mix it with soul energy, oh my God, you're laughing. But it needs to be positive, the same as your soul. Your soul is light. Your soul is, oh, I'm just hanging around in this human body while you do all your crap and then we can go back home, thank Christ. And it's like, oh, hell no. What is that going on in your head? Oh my God, what's all that about? Get rid of it. Don't put a plaster over it. Get a big, beautiful bandage and put it around and go, tell me, how can I help you? Listen to your inner child. Listen to your inner thought processes. Get them out on paper. Find someone to share your feelings with. By closing down and isolating, you are just growing that monster into something even worse than it already was. Don't allow the monster to grow. Get yourself a soul journal. There's no excuse, even a bit of paper. No excuse for you doing a gym workout for your mind. I just felt, I'm always inspired on what to say in my videos by events. And there's just so many people in crisis and they say, oh, I need a reading, I need this. No, you don't. You need to deal with what's going on inside first and work in yourself. Nobody can magic your pain away. You need to work at it. And it's hard if you don't want to do anything and you're overwhelmed. Okay, so the first easiest step is to write out your thoughts and feelings, because that doesn't take any effort at all. All right, and write out exactly what I said with all the goals, and it's a step forward to you gaining control back when you're just literally bursting inside. Anyway, I hope that helps you, and that's what I say. Think good things, feel good things, do good things. It really does work. So that's my little, I feel a bit militant, I feel a bit bossy. I hope it helps somebody. Get your journals and try to work through everything that's bringing you pain. Till the next time, love you all. Bye now.